Dear students, in this video I will tell you about action learning, assessment centers, development centers and competency mapping. Now what is action learning? Action learning is a process used by organizations for real world problem solving. In this method, a group of individuals with diverse background are assigned with a problem. The groups analyzes, understand, questions, reflects and come up with a solution for the problem. This also helps in creation of brand new approaches to problem solving and team building. There are certain important components of action learning. A problem, a real life issue that is of considerable importance to the organization and also provides learning opportunity to the team working on it. A team is usually composed of 6 to 8 people. Diversity of background and experiences is encouraged as that increases the possibility of different perspectives. Team members may be from different organizations and depending upon the nature of the problem can also be suppliers or customers. A group can work on a single or multiple problems at a time. Coach. A coach supervises the whole process. He helps the group in learning and management. He assists the team when in resolving any issues they face while the process. Questions, relevant questions and reflective listening. The most important part of the process. This helps in understanding the problem and coming up with a feasible solution. Action taken, the decision and recommendations that the group is implemented. Action items are decided by questioning and reflection. Once action is taken, it is again reflected upon and future plans are created accordingly. Last, learning. The organization gains short term benefits by solving the problem. However, the learning that the team and its individual members gain while processes holds greater strategic importance. This experience helps in future problem scenarios and gives the organization tactile advantage of any problem correction. Now, what is assessment centers? Assessment centers is a diagnostic tool to identify personal behavior for recruitment, selection, and promotion. It is a procedure of a systematic method that permits a many sided simultaneous judgment of several participants by several assessors under the leadership of a moderator and using various assessment methods. All assessment centers attempt to assess how competent a person is at present, either in the current role or more usually compared to the demands of some future job. All assessment centers focus on behaviors in two ways. Firstly, what is observed at an assessment center is behavior, since what someone says or does cannot be anything else. Secondly, behavior is the start of the design process, since what you are trying to do is assesses the behavior that are important to function well in the prospective job. An assessment center uses a range of evaluation techniques including role plays, job simulation exercises, interviews, and psychometric tests to create detailed competency insights on participants. It is also known as multi method assessments. Feedback and result from assessment centers can are best used for selection. Selecting candidates engage the competencies and proficiency levels required for successful performance in specific roles. Second, promotion. Identify the right candidate for promotion based on higher level of competencies. Number 3, development. Creating long-term development plans that help participants to know their strengths and address areas of improvement. 4. Succession planning, identifying successors to be groomed into a leadership positions. Now, what are development centers? Development center is the use of assessment center tool to diagnose employee development needs for effective job performance and career development. Assessment development centers comprises of simulation exercises and tools to measure defined behavioral competencies of the participants. Following are the most widely used exercises in assessment centers. Every exercise unveils presence absence of competency in the participant. The competencies that are normally evaluated through these different exercises are mentioned in the column 3. Number 1, case study interview. It requires candidates to read a large set of information and then answer questions relating to the subject matter. Competency for this method requires analytical skills, assimilation of information, prioritize of information, time management, and working under pressure. Second, competency based interview. It includes personal history questions and problem solving tasks and scenarios. Competency for this type of interview are analytical skills, business acumen, communication, interpersonal skills, personal attributes, and teamwork. Third, fact finding interview. It includes research and retrieval of information on a given subject or interaction with the interviewers to obtain further information from them. And the competency requires for this method is for this tool or method communication, professional interaction. Next, group exercise. It includes problem solving within a committee or a team. Competency for this exercise are personal assertiveness, teamwork, interpersonal effectiveness, drives for result. Next, in tray, it includes prioritizing documents, drafting replies to letters, and delegating important tasks. For this, the competencies are time management, analytical skills, business acumen. Next, problem solving task. It includes building a structure with limited materials and competencies for this task, analytical skills, creativity, lateral thinking, and resourcefulness. Next tool is presentation. It involves 10 to 15 minutes presentation on predetermined topic, and the competency are assimilation of information, presentation delivery, and working under pressure. Next, psychometric personality aptitude test. It includes a personality questionnaire and or a numerical, verbal, and diagrammatical reasoning test. The competency includes agreeableness, behavioral interaction, conciseness, extroversion, introversion, personal assertiveness, and teamwork. Next, role play exercise. It involves acting out a business related situation. Competency for this approach to business situations. Next, written exercise. It involves acting out a business related situation, and the competencies for this exercise are analytical skills, summarization, written communication. Now, what is competency mapping? Before tell you about the competency mapping, I want to tell you about what is competency. Competency is any underlying characteristic required for performing a given task, activity, or role successfully can be considered as competencies. According to United Nations Industrial Development Organization 2002, they defined competency as a set of skills, related knowledge, and attributes that allow an individual to successfully perform a task or any activity within a specific function or job. Competencies are definition of skills and behaviors that organizations expect their staff to practice and work. In other words, it is underlying characteristics of a person that results in an effective superior performance. Now, what is competency mapping? It is a process of identification of competencies required to perform successfully a given job or role or a set of tasks at a given point of time. In other words, it consists of breaking a given role or job into its constituent tasks or activities and identifying the competencies needed to perform the same successfully. Now, there are certain terms related to competency. Number one is competency map, number two is competency mapping, and number three is competency profiling. They are interrelated terms. Now, what is competency map? It is a list of individuals' competencies that represent the factors most critical to success in given job, departments, organizations, or industries that are part of individual's current career plan. Competency mapping is a process an individual uses to identify and describe competencies that are the most critical to success in a work situation or work role. Competency profiling is a process of identifying the knowledge, skills, abilities, attitudes, and judgment required for effective performance in a particular occupation or profession. Competency profiling is business company specific. Now, what are the objectives of competency mapping? The number one is goal analysis, number two, role clarity, number three, succession planning, number four, growth plans, number five, restructuring, number six, inventory of competencies for future planning. Now, what is the need of competency mapping? The needs are training and development, recruitment and selection, career planning, performance appraisal, success planning, compensation, replacement planning. Now, what are the steps in competency mapping? Decide the position for which the competencies need to be mapped. Number two, identifying the location of the position in the organizational structure. Number three, identify the objectives of the function or the departments or the unit or the selection where the position is located. Number four, identify the objectives of the role. Why does the position exist? What are the main purposes of the role, etc. Details. Number five, collect the key performance areas of the position holder for the last 3 years from the performance appraisal records. Number six, interview the position holder to list the tasks and activities expected to be performed by the individual. Group them into a set of tasks. The task list may be as many as 15 to 20 for some positions and as competency mapping, few as 5 to 6 for other positions. Number 7, interview the position holder to list the actual knowledge, attitude, skills, and other competencies required for performing the task effectively. Number 8, repeat the process with all the position set members. Number 9, consolidate the list of competencies from all the position holders by each task. Last, edit and finalize. Present it to the supervisors of the position holder and the position holder for approval and finalization. Now, what are the effects of competency mapping on other HRD system? It affects the recruitment and the selection of the organization. It affects the performance management system. It also affects the training and development and compensation management. Thank you for watching my video. I hope all these concepts are clear to all.